What's going on, everyone? We're going to continue the PS4. I'm still back and forth on wanting to paint at least the outer edges and stuff, but if I do, I kind of want to either do just a different kind of black, matching white, which would probably mean a white fan, or painting this to match, or doing some kind of blue since we have the white and blue kind of theme going on there. But first things first, this thing needs to be completely dusted. I have a brush somewhere I like to use, or compressed air, but I usually use the brush. So we're going to do that, clean up our fan and stuff. I'm still leaning towards not painting it. If that's the case, we can start putting some of the stuff back in our motherboard, put some thermal paste on, and drill these holes out real quick. So we're going to start that, clean all this up. Then we actually need to find a 12-volt source for our fan. And while we're at it, I'm going to look for a 5-volt source. I don't know if I'll put a temperature display in this one, but for when I do a water-cooled one, we definitely will. Yeah, so let's get started. First by cleaning this. Alright, I got these holes drilled out. I do need to get some slightly longer screws. These barely poke through the plastic, and this one on the corner is going through the extra set. So I'll either have to cut away some of that plastic so I can fit the nut around there so that it's still flush with this plastic. That's kind of my guide. I don't want it to stick out really any farther than that, maybe just a little bit, because I don't want it to be touching the metal shroud on the back. So anyway, that's in place. I gotta feed this wire through the bottom and make sure I have enough clearance to run the wire around. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the Blu-ray drive and where the fan plugs in and see if we can pick out a 12-volt source. Okay, so I got this put back in so I can test it. I have spliced into the fan. This should be the positive, negative, and that's the signal wire. So we just have the positive and negative soldered straight in. It's enough slack so you can still remove this top piece. And then once you remove the fan, you can take the whole thing out anyway. I just put a little hot glue in there while I'm testing it. If everything's good, then we'll take this off and actually solder those in. And on the bottom side, I have these taped in place just for now. As I showed before, they're kind of a loose fit, and we're gonna actually attach them on when we're all done. But underneath, I just drilled some holes. Not really a fan of it. It didn't it started to slightly skew, and then I tried to roll with it and it didn't really work. We're probably just gonna cut out a hole there, but I've got these filters here. That's right at the top of the fan, and then just some screws that go into the plastic. And yeah, so I'm just getting it together enough here to test. I still don't have screws on these. This barely goes through the case, so it just holds it from sliding. But we're just gonna make sure everything works and just kind of test our airflow, see what we get. And yeah, what else did I do? I think that's it. Alright. Alright, so here it is. Got this rattling because that's not screwed down over here. There it is, shut off. Turning back on. I think it was checking for system update, of course. So our light seems to be unaffected by what we cut out over here. Fan, I think, looks really cool. You can definitely feel extra airflow coming out of the side. You can feel it being pulled in through the very bottom. And I think I can definitely feel a lot more air coming out of the back. So we need to get some correct screws to put this in, and then actually put the rest of it together correctly, and then we can actually play some games and test it out, see if it gets any hotter. this definitely pulls a lot of air in. Very quiet fan. Can't hear it over the disk drive there. Alright, it's just yelling at me for not shutting it off correctly, I think, the last time. That's weird. I know I did, but okay.